So you'll end up using quotes an awful lot in your code. And there's no official rule around quotes, but there's some best practices, and you'll see this executed across the majority of the most commonly used modules. The idea is that single quotes are better to use whenever you don't need double quotes. And there are a couple of instances where double quotes make a bit more sense. One is if you have a single quote that you need to incorporate in a string. So if we were using single quotes on this line, for example, we would need to escape this single quote with a backslash. And it simplifies the readability of this code by not having that slash, so we can wrap this in double quotes. The second instance where double quotes would make sense is if we were going to use a variable inside of quotes. If we wanted to use a variable with single quotes, what we would need to do is end the quote before the variable and use a concatenation operator, so a period, the variable, and then do the same thing with the string on the other side. So it adds some complexity to the code, and sometimes it can be easier just to embed the variable directly in the string, and we can do that if we're using double quotes. Speaking of concatenation, let's take a look at standards around concatenation. So here's the right way to do it. We have two types of concatenation here. We have between two variables or a string, and then we have as an operator to append to the end of an existing variable. So the idea is the same with operators. We're just going to keep spaces on either side. So with the dot equal sign, we're going to keep spaces around here. And same with the dot between two variables, or between a variable and a string, or between a string and a string. It doesn't matter. Always add spaces. Okay, let's look at comments.